Okay, so subtraction of integers slightly different here than addition. And the reason I put it separately and I did multiplication first is for you to understand the minus minus rule. So what is a minus minus rule? What happens when I subtract? So just say I had 10 minus 2. That can be written as 10 plus negative 2, isn't it? And now subtraction has become addition. I could have wrote 10 minus 2. If the negative was on this side, negative 10 plus 2, I could have written it as 2 minus 10, isn't it? Because the negative is there and it's here. So this is the same as addition. It would have been the same as 2 plus negative 10. And these are the same. So when we have subtraction and addition, it's normally fused together in integers, because we can write them as subtraction or addition. What stands out a little bit is if we have a minus minus rule. So if I had negative 8 minus negative 4, this is when we have a little bit of a problem, right? If you just ignore this negative 8 for a little bit, just look at this piece here. Negative, negative 4. Brackets normally means multiplication, isn't it? And if I had a negative here, it could have been the same as negative 1 times negative 4, isn't it? So this is just another way of writing the multiplication. Can you see that? And this is the reason I did multiplication first and then came to subtraction. When we have a minus minus, it's the same as minus 1 times minus 4. And that gives us plus 4. Can you see that? So minus minus, just imagine them fusing together and making one sign, and that one sign is positive. Okay, so minus minus becomes plus. So what would our answer be in this case? Let's go back to the question. Always, whenever you have minus minus, put your answers below each other so you can actually see that you're taking your two negatives and you're putting it into that positive, okay? So make your write your answers one below the other, and there we go. Minus 8 plus 4 is what we're actually dealing with, all right? So we changed the negative together, became positive. And that would be negative 8 plus 4. I owe you 8. I paid you 4. I still owe you 4, isn't it? Negative 4. Good. So what happens if I have positive 8 minus minus 4? Again, the minus minus is going to become a plus. 8 plus 4. And that gives me 12. Okay, 8 plus 4 is just, I have 8, I have 4 more, and now I have 12. Okay, now, whenever you look at brackets, now that you understand a little bit on the multiplication, look at brackets a little bit differently. So if the question says negative 10 plus negative 3, how can we simplify this? How can we write this simply without brackets? We would say, okay, this is just negative 10. So we can take the brackets out there. And then we'll say positive times negative will give me negative. And that's it. How easy is that? So to get rid of the brackets, we can multiply the sign outside by the sign inside, regardless of what the signs are. Okay, and obviously that's going to give me negative 13. If I had negative 5, let's make it a minus positive 2. Okay, so now I have a lot of brackets again. I want to get rid of my brackets. What do? Bring down the minus 5, minus and a plus. These are different signs. It will become negative, isn't it? When you multiply different signs. Remember that these signs, because it's outside the bracket, we treat it as multiplication. And that's going to give us that. So simplify your question first, then get an answer. So sometimes the brackets can confuse us and we wouldn't know, do I have same signs or different signs? How would I know when there's so many brackets? Remove the brackets. So sometimes removing the brackets helps us see clearer. And that's negative 5 -2. Okay, now I can see clearly they're both negative, and I'm going to add and use the negative as my answer. So that's going to be -7. Okay, so whether there's negative outside and a positive inside, or a positive outside and negative inside, I'm still getting a negative. Can you see that? If we have a negative outside and a negative inside, then we get a positive because they're multiplying same signs. And similarly, if I had a positive there and a positive inside as well, it obviously would be the same. Positive and positive will be just positive. Is that okay? So simplifying and removing brackets helps us see the picture a little bit clearer, understand what signs we're dealing with, and then use the appropriate rule. Here we have different signs, so we will subtract the numbers. 8 and 4 will give me, if we subtract them, we're getting 4. And we use a sign of the bigger number because the signs are different, isn't it? We're using a different sign rule here, which is a negative. Okay, not bad.